Welcome to another lesson of Learning Portuguese with Dr. M in Zimbabwe. Today we're looking at how to conjugate regular ER verbs and regular IR verbs. Remember, they're called regular because they follow a pattern. So for ER verbs and IR verbs, they are almost the same in the endings. This is how we conjugate the ER verbs. The two steps that we're going to follow. Step 1, we remove ER from the original verb. Sometimes it is called verb in the infinitive. Step 2, you're going to add these endings. Each ending corresponds to a pronoun. For example, this corresponds to eu, es to tu, e corresponds to ele, ela, and você. Emos corresponds to nós, em corresponds to eles, elas, and vocês. That's for ER verbs. Now for IR verbs, you're going to remove IR and you're going to add these endings. Just like on top, each ending corresponds to a pronoun. So here I'm going to do a demonstration of two examples. Vender representing ER verbs and abrir representing IR verbs. So the first step that you do is to write your pronouns going down. We're going to have eu, tu, ele, stroke ela, stroke você, nós, eles, elas, and vocês. Now, step number 1 is to remove ER from vender. You're going to end up with VEND. So I'm going to write the stem that I have remained with, VEND, going down. Step number 2 is to add these endings. So I'm going to put O there, ES, E, emos, and EM. So I've conjugated the verb vender, which means if you can conjugate vender, you can conjugate any regular verb which ends with the letter ER. Now, when I say eu vendo, I'm saying I sell or I am selling. When I say tu vendes, that means you sell or you are selling. Ele vende, he sells or he is selling. Ela vende, she sells or she is selling. Você vende, you sell or you are selling. Nós vendemos, we sell or we are selling. Eles, elas vendem, they sell or they are selling. Vocês vendem, you sell or you are selling. Now, let's go to abrir. Same applies. We put our pronouns going down. Here I'm just going to put ele representing the 3 and then eles there. So after removing IR, I end up with abre. Like that. The next step is to put the endings. That's O, ES, E, emos, and EM. So you're going to note that these endings for ER and IR are almost the same, except for the nosh, where we have emos here and emos there. So in the end here, I have eu abro, which means I open or I am opening. Tu abres, you open or you are opening. Ele abre, he opens or he is opening. Nós abrimos, we open or we are opening. Eles abrem, they open or they are opening. Now, if you master how to conjugate these two verbs, it means you can now conjugate any other regular verb which end with ER or IR, because I'm going to follow these two steps that we have done here. Thank you for watching. Let's meet again in the next lesson.